Hello everyone, I'm Bryson Eagle and thank you for joining me here. So I wasn't going to cover this article, but I noticed it got a lot of attention, and here we are. So from Breitbart, University of Virginia students, white people should not use multicultural centers. So, a video published by the Young America's Foundation on Tuesday shows several University of Virginia students sharing the belief that white people need to be aware of the fact that certain spaces on campus are simply not for them, and that they need to be cognizant of the space that they're taking up. The students' views fall in line with the viral video of a black student announcing that there were just too many white people in the school's multicultural student center. Now, I do want to apologize ahead of time that my speech will be a little bit disjunct because the number of times students use the word like is quite high. I think white people need to be aware of the fact that it's not a space for them, and make sure that when they're entering a space, or the multicultural center, they're not taking up the space for other people of color that want to use it, one student confusingly explains in the video. The students were reacting to a viral video that surfaced on social media last week, which showed a black student announcing that there were just too many white folk inside the school's new multicultural student center. Hey man, if it's a new building, don't you want to check it out? It's new. The MSC is a place for people of color and multicultural students to gather, the student added, and so they kind of want that to be a safe space for them, so no whites. The student also acknowledged that the MSC could effectively ostracize white people. Also, you don't want the MSC to be exclusive and feel like, I guess, white people are being ostracized from that place, the student said, so it's kind of a tough balancing act. UVA is a predominantly white institution, the student ultimately concluded. So, spaces at UVA are made for white people, according to who? So the new spaces that people of color, gay folk have, they should feel safe in those spaces. What? A second student featured in the video suggested that the multicultural space can't be considered multicultural if white people are present, adding that white people are being inside the MSC makes the center no longer feel like a totally safe space, because apparently all white people have the same culture. This is a multicultural space, and if it doesn't look multicultural, then the multicultural people at UVA feel less comfortable here, said the student. It's multicultural, so it's designated to be a multicultural space. Holy cow, he added. It felt like a safe space, and now it doesn't feel like a totally safe space for people who do not feel safe outside that space. Is Dr. Seuss writing this? They need to be cognizant of the space that they're taking up, said a third student of white people, because this university is full of history that's basically oppressing people of color. Oh my goodness. And so it's very hard for people to have a space where they feel like safe. And the MSC is a place where we feel safe, she added. You never know, that might actually not be a she. But a fourth student expressed that, as a white person, I don't want to say that I should be allowed anywhere. Be mindful that it is a space where students of color go to be comfortable and to feel safe and supported. And when there's white students that are in there doing something that could be perceived as disrespectful, you have to understand that that could be hurtful, said a fifth student. A sixth student featured in the video said that he is fine with the MSC excluding people with less melanin in their skin, adding that there already exists a plethora of areas for white people. That sounds pretty exclusionary to me. I'm pretty much fine if that space is for them. I think we should kind of agree that as a white person, I guess we have more areas where you can feel comfortable, and they don't feel comfortable in those other areas, the student said, so you should be completely excluded from a place because of feelings. UVA had reacted to the initial viral video last week by releasing a statement clarifying that the school's multicultural center is open to all members of the university community. I think that UVA's statement was ridiculous, reacted a seventh student in the video. It's a multicultural space. White people need to be aware of the spaces that they occupy on grounds. What? We need to be aware of the way that we occupy spaces around everything, the student added. She wasn't aggressive, she was very clear and concise with what she said. And she had a good point, said the student of the woman who was heard in the viral video complaining about there being too many white people in the multicultural student center. Oh, good. Oh, Virginia. But really, this whole thing, it's not really surprising. It's at this point, 2020, And things like this, they're becoming increasingly common. But just a quick breakdown. So basically, some students don't like that white people can enter their multicultural student centers because they don't like white people, they think white people are bad, and that basically all white people are the same. That's pretty much it. Apparently, I didn't know this, but people from Finland and people from Austria and Spain, they're all the same. They're all exactly the same because of their skin color. I should add that, though. Discriminating against a person or a group of people because of their skin color is quite literally racism. Now, according from the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language, the 5th edition specifically. Now, they have 3 definitions of racism. The first is the belief that race accounts for differences in human character or ability, and that a particular race is superior to others. Now, they're not going with this version of racism. The version of racism that they're going with is the second one. Discrimination or prejudice based on race. They're just judging people based on their skin color. And of course, there's the third belief or third definition of racism, the belief that each race has distinct and intrinsic attributes. So, people calling for, safe spaces or white exclusionary places, they're being quite literally just being racist. But, whatever. These students who dislike or even hate white people, they want a place, such as, of course, the multicultural student centers, to be locations of literal, privileged segregation. They don't want white people to have access, wherever the minorities might want to go. Minority students can, as far as I know, go wherever they really want to, especially on campus. If they feel uncomfortable, then, that's their problem that they need to fix, which we could maybe talk about those issues, but by excluding white people from multicultural centers, that's not going to get them very far. And look, you know what? I understand. I can totally understand to a degree what some of these students might be feeling and or the meaning behind their statements, but they're literally calling for not just racial segregation, but for control. They want to control where white people go and, of course, control those people's actions. At least in this case, these students who want exclusionary zones, they want the university to police where other students can and cannot go based on skin color. I do want to say that this event or message might be relatively small, with, of course, no force behind it, no momentum, but ideas like this, they spread. It takes time, but these ideas grow, especially in university circles. The students, and of course others, I'm sure some faculty there, who are carrying this message of segregation will do whatever it takes to achieve their end goal. Some, of course, will end up in positions of power, diversity positions of power, of course, where they will discriminate against people they don't like because of skin color. Oh well. Finally, I do want to leave you with this idea. You know what? I welcome more ideas like this. Let's wake up more people to the reality of what's going on. And because it's only going to get worse until we hit the breaking point. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.